one thing we have to realize that it's time to start using ChatGPT. Okay, we cannot avoid it. Once AI will be completely integrated, QA people will start writing unit and integration, because that's where I feel unit and integration can also be done by QA folks. Okay, just create an API account, generate an API key. You can generate API key by coming over here, logging into the API, come to the view API keys, and after that you can use it in your Postman and rest assured. Automation profile is going to sustain. There may be some headcount reduction in future. I'm not sure, but so before that happens, we should upgrade ourselves with those technology, AI technology, and start using it, right?
Hello, everyone. So, we are finally here for the last session that we have today, last talk of today. Really excited for this last session that we have, and it is on a very relevant topic, a tool which was launched few months back, and it created a lot of buzz in all the industries. And today, our speaker Siddharth Shukla will be talking about how to use ChatGPT for test automation. A little bit about him. He has around 12 plus years of IT experience and is currently working as an estate. He is an author and the founder of the blog. He has authored a newsletter. He's passionate about blog writing and content creation in automation space, expertise in web, API, mobile automation, along with DevOps and AWS. And today he will be talking about how you can use ChatGPT for your test automation. So I would love to call Siddharth on the stage. Hi, Siddharth.
Hello, Hansika. Hello. Hello, folks.
Yeah, over to you.
Yeah. Good morning and good evening to everyone. So, shall I start, Vanshika?
Yes, yes, you can start and share your screen.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hey, thanks. Okay. Yeah. So let's start. Before I come to the slide and try to show you something on my screen, just I'm saying everyone that it is not going to replace us, okay? Because there are a lot of doubts that how, but one thing we have to realize that it's time to start using ChatGPT, okay? We cannot avoid it, because avoiding is something like it will not only means keep us away from the benefits of ChatGPT. Rather, we can sometime in future, if you, because you know, right? Currently, they have provided the API which we can consume, right? ChatGPT API. That one also I will show you, folks, that how you can consume ChatGPT API. Because rather than using the app, consuming the ChatGPT API is going to help you develop a lot of things in future. Okay, maybe during runtime you will create a property file reader, right? So those kind of things is definitely going to happen in coming couple of years for sure. Or maybe it will come with your ID, where you can just add your test scripts, right? You can give just command or something like that and it will write your test scripts. But still it's not going to replace us, because the logic, because it may help you to write the code, but it cannot suggest where to use the design patterns maybe, or where you can implement something. For example, I want to integrate upload my images in S3, right? S3 bucket. So that suggestion it cannot give, right? It can write the code how to integrate S3 bucket, but it cannot suggest that, right? That's why be sure that it's not going to be happen anywhere in future that it is going to replace us. But yes, we have to start using it, right? So I have created this doc over here, so I'm going to share this one at the end of the session. And so you folks can go through it. So chat gpt, I guess most of you heard about it, but if you not, then let me put it in simple word. It is nothing but an advanced form of Google search, right? Where it will just imagine our normal general store shopkeepers, right? Whatever we say, they used to search with a huge collection of stock they have right in front of us. So the I when I saw them, I always try to remember that okay, those people are as efficient as ChatGPT. So similarly, ChatGPT also try to search from different places and give it to you, right? It's not like something you feel like okay, it is just like an advanced form of searching and providing the information to us, right? But yes, it has possessed some AI implementation into it, so it helps us to make it more interactive, right? The pain point in Google is when we search something, there will be 10 to 15 pages. We need to go through each and every link, and then we figure out, okay, this content is not relevant. Then again, open another link. Again, you figure out this content is not relevant until you find the correct one, right? So that tedious task has been reduced due to ChatGPT. Now, till this much, everything was good for specifically IT people. But adding to that, what ChatGPT did, it started writing code, right? So that's where things become a little bit somehow everybody thinks like, okay, they definitely feel insecure, right? Because it writes very nicely every code with coding standards also most of the time. So it definitely feel like, okay, how we are going to sustain in this market. So for that, first we need to figure out how we can use it in our automation. So, whatever I have written over here, you folks can read or go through it after the session. No hurries. I have just tried to summarize everything with simpler terms, right? But now the question is where and how we are going to implement ChatGPT. Before I jump into it, let me tell you a couple of recent changes happened in organization. Organizations have blocked ChatGPT. Okay, maximum bigger organization have started blocking ChatGPT. I guess you guys may be aware of it, right? Our company organizations have already stopped it. Correct. So you cannot access ChatGPT. Right? That is another headache. So it's not. So you have to have your own personal laptop where we can explore those things. Or there is a workaround I have figured out. You can consume the ChatGPT API. I will tell you about that. Okay. So, but anyway, before we jump into that, what you need to do, you need to create a ChatGPT account. If you haven't created yet, then do go over here, right? ChatGPT.openai.com, and it will ask you a couple of questions on normal registration. How we do? It's quite similar, simple, right? Just like creating an account in Gmail, right? Nothing much difficult over here. Just create a ChatGPT account, okay? And I would suggest what you do before figuring out like how it works with automation, try to give a lot small commands to it, right? For example, write a Java program to add some number, right, to number, something like that, just to see that how what kind of code it is writing, how basically it is working. Because the more you understand it, the better you implement in automation, right? Because here we need to bring the two worlds together, right? Automation and ChatGPT, and we have to master both the things, or else it will be like half cooked things, right? We may not get proper benefit of ChatGPT, or we may not use it properly inside the automation. So the first thing that you can do is define test cases, right? It actually writes very nice test case. Okay, for example, if you ask it to write test cases, I guess you guys must have tried this one. If you haven't, then give it a try. For Gmail login scenario, with just see what I'm typing, it will help you with positive and negative. See, here what happens, the keywords are very important. If you don't use proper keywords, then you may, because I have seen couple of people who are not using proper keywords, and then the answer are not definitely up to that much level, right? Or it will not feel like, okay, this is kind of working in proper way. So if I will put it over here in the chat GPT, so what it will do basically, it will try to write some test cases for our Gmail login screen. By the time it will write, let's come back over here. See, positive test cases, negative test cases, right? And those kind of posts you must have seen recently a lot. So those are getting generated over here. Correct? Can you see? So how quickly it has written, right? Now you can, this is how you are creating test case. But always remember, this is a simple test case. That's why you asked it, it has created. Mm, uh, it will still add a lot of values when we move further into 2023 or by early 2024. But remember one thing, just I'm adding this one. It cannot test your own applications, right? You cannot ask it to write test cases for your application which is not in production yet, because that is a security issue, right? So I would advise, don't use this like that, right? If you know organization, they haven't blocked ChatGPT yet, don't just go and type those things in the open source free account. Okay, that would be a big disaster, because all the data, because anyhow it is learning from us, right? So it is storing our data. So it's not advisable to use the unreleased product version content or any information in the chat GPT. But yes, this is how basically you can use it to. write the test cases. Correct? You can improvise it a bit. I have written a lot of things over here. You can go through it, but I don't want to waste time to read through those things. Better you will go through it at your own convenience, right? So this is how you can generate the test cases usually, correct? And you can put lot of conditions to it. It's not like only simple. You can also write, okay, create some login scenarios, right? With maybe different username and password combination. It will do that also. Okay, it's not like it cannot play around test data. So the next topic is about test data generation only. First one is test case, second is test data generation. So you can easily generate test data for it, right? So for example, generate test data for Bob scenario. Okay. So now what it will try to do, always remember that ChatGPT is always not like whatever it is giving you, you should accept it. Rather go through it thoroughly, because many of the times I have seen that it sometimes gives wrong information also, right? For example, if you see positive test data, valid email ID with valid password, valid email ID, invalid password. So those email ID you need to add of your own, correct? Because this is, so some changes or some edit or some play around you need to do, but always remember the frame or the core part you don't have to write from the scratch. Just how you should use, just pick it from here, make put a little bit of human touch, right? So when it gets a little bit of human touch, it looks more real, and the edge case scenarios and everything you can cover more, right? So don't depend on it entirely, but yes, as I told, we can take help of it, right? Instead of writing all those English lines on Jira or any test trail or any test management tool, just take the frame and just add it little bit on top of it, right? So for example, if you got 10 scenarios, right, add 5 or 6 more, correct? That would be enough. So this is how, and you can get more proper test data also. For example, generate test data for alphanumeric value, right? Generate test data for alphanumeric value with length as 10. I'm just trying this one in front of you. Let's see how it is replying. So this kind of things you can do. Correct? You can just give it a try. You can ask him to generate 10 different alphanumeric values. See, it has created. It's awesome, right? Just fetch it, put it in a JSON to read it in the test automation, right? I'm just saying, right? We have Java methods to create those also, but yes, those are the things also you can consider, right? How you can play around your test data, or just if you want, you are doing manual testing and you are feel like, okay, let's add some test data, then just come over here, fetch the test data and test it, right? So yes, those kind of things you can definitely play around. The third part is test result analysis. Result analysis is a little bit tricky and it is not that promising. I have tried it. Okay, I would suggest don't jump over here. There are many good tool like Tableau is there, QuickSight is there. Those are very good automation test result analysis tool. Okay, just upload your result over there and it will give you a very nice dashboard. I have tried Tableau recently, and I have done little bit on the QuickSight too. Both are very good. QuickSight is provided by AWS, so both are very nice. You can try those. Okay, now those will help you to track things and keep things more wisely, and the dashboard looks good also. But yes, test result analysis can also be explored. If not now, then let the ChatGPT get matured a bit, right? As we grow old, ChatGPT also grow old, right? And with age, it will come with some wisdom, right? So analysis part always try to keep with yourself as of now, but uh, definitely give it a try to explore things, not like directly jump into it and use it. Now let's come to the main thing, that is generating utility class with ChatGPT. This is the best part I have seen till date. Okay, just let me show you how you can use it. Generate a generate a utility method for reading property file using Java. Now see what it will do. Now, those are the things we use in our test automation, right? When we create our utility package, we create those methods, right? Property file reader, JSON file reader. Oh, see how properly it has written. Try, catch, written, everything is very nicely written, well written code, right? Here also he has written private. Most of the time I have seen people are writing public, right? So those small things also it has properly mentioned, right? Try catch, it has not used throws, it has used try catch. So many good things I have seen. So those are kind of very good plus point when we use ChatGPT. Okay, I would definitely advise to create your utility at least from ChatGPT. Why I'm saying utility, ChatGPT utility is not specific to your project, right? Those are common things. So why not use this one for common things? Correct. So never try to feed anything over here which is specific to your project. Always try to jump into the utility class first. That is my advice. I have explored it first with the utility just to see how it is working. Similarly, you can try Excel reader, JSON reader, right? Those or create a Java class to generate a random string. For example, create a create a method to generate random string of length 10 in Java. But always try to write everything properly. Okay, if you miss anything, it will do. If you don't write in Java, it will create some in some another language, right? Which is of no use for you. So you have to properly write which programming language you are using. See, it has created, right? It has done some. No, this is not that much of a good thing. We can do it more better with, but still it's fine, right? For our base one, at least it is fine. Because see, this one it should have it could have used some advanced for loop. Yeah, there's some optimization part over here, but this code is very nice, right? This code has some optimization I can see. This is not too good, but still it has give us the output, right? And the logic part at least you can pick. Correct? Maybe the upper part doesn't look so nice, but this part you can easily do. Correct. Now if we try to figure out some more thing, you can also try it and check that how it is responding for the utility. But the entry point I always suggest everyone to use for utility, and utility is not specific to your project, so no issue you will face, right? Now we will see how you can automate actually the entire script, okay, with Selenium, right? Let me type this one and you will be amazed. Okay, you will be amazed and like what that Rudy's guy told, stunned, correct? So you will be stunned because this one is risky. After seeing this, I was also worried that how means automation profile is going to sustain. There may be some headcount reduction in future. I'm not sure, but so before that happens, we should upgrade ourselves with those technology, AI technology, and start using it, right? Because if not, it is replacing it. It will do some headcount effect. What I can sense, or maybe things will change in future, right? But that's how I can sense it a little bit. So can you see now? Can you help me generate a test script for Selenium? I need to test the login functionality of a web application. You will be amazed, folks. Okay, what it will do. Let's just wait for some time. Meanwhile, let me take you over here. I have added the screenshots and everything over here. The screenshots part is removed. I will upload it and share this link with you, folks, right? So now here I will show you how you can use one with Selenium, one with Rest Assured, because these two are the most famous one, right? Selenium is for your, see, it has created, folks, setup, driver setup. It has written with priority 0 1. So how it knows test ng, it knows about Selenium. Kind of it has done almost everything, right? Your username, password, login, just pick it and do a little bit of edit and you are done. See, driver dot get title validation assertion, it has put, we haven't asked it to put assertion, right? So it has done everything very nicely. Tear down, quit, right? So this is how actually it is working nowadays. If you are practicing learning, then definitely use this one. At least you will get the initial setup correct, and then you can explore on top of it. How quickly it has generated, right? So this is how you can use it more efficiently. Similarly, you can use it for rest assured also, right? You want to automate a post method in rest assured and validate the body using, just copy this one and paste it. You will see it will generate a rest assured within a fraction of second. Automate a post method in rest assured and validate the body using ChatGPT, right? It will give you the entire format. It will help you to create pojos also, because that's where most of, because when I take sessions, or all of my students always say that pojos are a little bit tough. So now if you are very confused into pojo, you can generate a pojo from here. Give it the JSON and it will create a pojo. Explore it. So those kind of things are very good over here. Okay. Let me give you a typical example that you want to integrate S3 bucket, right? And you are completely out of any ideas that how I will start. Just ask ChatGPT how I will integrate S3 into my automation framework. Then it will give you such good ideas that you can implement it. See, it has created a rest assured script. And see, it has used, so little bit of here and there, little bit of edit definitely we require it for around code optimization scope is there. That's for sure, right? Optimized code it cannot write always, right? We have to optimize this piece of code. There will be something, I can see there are many things to optimize, but still it has done it very nicely, right? All assertions given, when, then, everything is properly written. Correct. So it's not like I have shown you only with Selenium and Rest Assured. The reason behind it is these two are the most famous two, right? Most famous frameworks or packages that we use for our API automation and UI automation. Correct. So the best part is, but remember one thing: though ChatGPT looks good, all fancy, and but it will not replace us. A simple example I am giving you: this code is not too good, right? Why? There is no pattern has been used. Those suggestion it cannot do for you, right? Which pattern to use? For example, here it could have used builder pattern, right? This one it could have moved to a property file. Who will give you that idea? ChatGPT cannot give you, right? So always remember logic, it cannot build always. Logic means how you are shaping up your framework. It will not do that. It will just help you to write the pieces, just how we do in microservice, right? Small, small services connected. Similarly, over here, you can write small, small piece of code, and then connecting all those things together and building something is still up to humans, right? We have to do it. Similarly, you can take help from it, but we cannot rely on it, right? We are not relying on machines. That's why testing comes, right? Or else we would have done it very in the beginning section that okay, unit testing is happening, integration is happening. Why to do testing, right? But still, we are here, and the testing is growing wise means very widely, right? Since last 4 or 5 years, it has been exponentially increased, correct? So that's why it's not like without human touch, you can release something into production. That is not going to happen for sure, right? But yes, as I told, some reduction in headcount will happen. Okay, we cannot avoid that. Some may argue, some may agree, but that is the fact which I am seeing right now. Okay, headcount will happen due to this, but it will not replace us. But maybe in future, some new perspective of coding will happen so that we can write the unit testing. In fact, SD it is write unit testing and integration, but automation QA can also pitch in and write unit and integration, right? For example, if you're a little bit weak in code, but if you know how, okay, here I can put a mock and write integration, you can jump for it by using ChatGPT, right? It's not always like, so maybe that horizon will open, which I can feel as of now, that soon after 2 years, once AI will be completely integrated, QA people will start writing unit and integration, because that's where I feel unit and integration can also be done by QA folks, right? So those things will definitely help us to do, correct? So mostly to wrap up the entire things, I will share this one with you folks, right? I will add couple of images to it, uh, or else just let me do one thing. Let me share it with you folks, right? Anyone with the link? I'm giving a viewer this one, and I will add couple of screenshots over here, or if you have, means you folks can refer this one. right? Anyone would be fine. But yes, now the last one, quickly, I'm going to show you how you can integrate it, the API part. This link you can use. Okay, just create an API account, generate an API key. You can generate API key by coming over here, logging into the API, come to the view API keys, and after that you can use it in your Postman and rest assured. Okay, so you can just go through this section, you will understand it. Okay, so those are very good things also you can do, but don't try right away, right? API keys and all, but first give it a try with normal chat gpt, see how it is working, play around a bit. If you feel okay, this is the area which we can use chat gpt more than, do let us know, the entire QA community, so it will help them, right? Because we all are exploring phase as of now, correct? So I am also exploring, so let's explore together and see what we can do, correct? Because say, we cannot rely on it as of now, but yes, let's make it so that we can rely on it and get inside the unit testing part, correct? Yes, I hope this session has helped you folks.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Siddharth, for that session. It was a great one. Loved the whole presentation. We have few questions that we can take up now.
Mhm.
Uh, we have a question from Swapna. How
Mhm.
ChatGPT impact testing and data security, and is ChatGPT confidential?
So I guess this one I have means informed it at the start, right? That you should not use in your office machines. They have already blocked it. Most of the organization have blocked it. As far as I know, four top level companies have blocked it. So you cannot use it. You have to explore in your personal laptop because there is security issues, and you should not use any unreleased production information, right? It's some new feature you are working on. Don't search it in ChatGPT. It will learn from us, right? You are exposing the data, so not advisable. Just as I told, only those methods, utility methods, you can explore. There is no risk, right? If you ask somebody to create a JSON data, that's fine, right? No issue, no data you are sharing. So that's why don't put anything which is specific to your project or your framework even, right? Why to share the framework structure, right? We should not tell him everything, or else it will learn from us and it will be.
The next question we have is, yeah, does it mean that testers have wider scope as new roles can be added, like unit testing?
Yes, yes, that is going to happen. I hope so, at least. At least first time when I see it, I thought of that thing. That comes to my mind first, that let's get into, because I'm not a very big fan of functional testing. Okay, frankly speaking, I feel like if we have proper integration, there is no much need of functional, because crowd testing is there, beta testing is there. Yes, happy flow and couple of things are important, but not entirely relying on UI automation is kind of foolishness these days, because a lot of new things are coming, right? API is there, so that's why not too much advisable, but yes.
We have one
Let's see.
question from Sheen. Just like ChatGPT, will Auto GPT help in generating test cases?
I have never used it actually. I have never tried it, but let's see. I guess, yeah, hope, because everybody is using the same logic behind the same NLP, right? You can also build consume NLP logic little bit and build something on top of. But I have seen couple of automation tool in recent past. Okay, they are using AI. It will come in market maybe soon or not. I'm not sure, but I have seen with some startup they have started working with this. So Auto GPT, yes, give it a try, but I haven't used it. But mostly it would be the same logic.
We have one last question from Yogesh. Can we use ChatGPT API in our API framework as a data provider or utility provider? If yes, how we can integrate it in our framework?
Yeah, actually, I am creating a session as Anurag told. There, I have explained. This will take time. Okay, this question is a larger one. As I've given you a little bit of context, right? API case, that is the your way of entry. But after that, you have to do a lot of setup. Okay, there is some security problem will happen, and if you're running it from pipeline, there will be another issue, because they used to block things, right? You cannot just call anything. So there are a lot of problem as of now. Okay, but API keys is the entry point. You can use API keys, and if I guess you are smart enough to figure out the rest of the things, right? If you have the endpoint, you can do anything, right?
Understand, sir. I think that covers up the questions, the ones that are left, we will send it to you and you can probably respond to them and we'll share it with the attendees. Thank you so much for this amazing
Yep.
session, Siddharth, once again.
Yeah. Thank you.